Hey guys, we're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I got you guys a brand new guest. Harry Humstone is here. How are you doing today, Harry?
Outstanding, outstanding. Thanks for having me. This is pretty
Hey,
cool.
you're welcome. Yeah, I think last time I saw you were on with Nurse Flipper, and then I think you were on with Thrifty Junker like a week ago, right?
Yeah, I go on with a Canadian dude once in a while too. He's Antiques and Profits. So
All right,
I hop on with him on Sundays sometimes, but
all right,
usually
awesome.
I just do my own gig.
Well, it seems to be working for you, Harry. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, just in case they don't know who you are. You can tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them what it is that you do.
Welcome to the world of Harry Humstone. I am a collector, part-time seller, big on collectibles. I love antiques. You can see it all around me. I can shift this stuff around, and they're my buddies, the dummies. But stuff's
Yeah,
everywhere. If you watch my videos, you'll see I pretty much buy old toys, a little bit of everything. I mean, there it is. GI Joe stuff. There's thermometers, McCoy, old
yeah.
toilet paper. That was just that you weren't supposed to see that, but.
Well,
That
I
old
also
clocks,
see
old bottles, glass insulators. I sell pedal cars. I sell on eBay. I sell on
you're
Facebook
on
Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also sell a little bit of golf clubs too, don't you?
Oh my God, I got the golf clubs. I was just looking at them. I found another Scotty. I forgot. I thought I was down to a couple of them, but I found another good one. So those things go for bucks, man. I sold a set of golf clubs today. So
Really?
some pings. Got 180 bucks. I didn't pay a dime for them. If you guys haven't seen a video about 10 videos ago, maybe give or take, you'll see where I picked up golf clubs. I got them for free. I filled a whole van full of golf clubs. I didn't know who Scotty Cameron was. I picked it up because I seen wood shaft sticks. So I thought, you know what? I'll make a buck or two and I'll throw out what I don't want. But I seen those putters, and I knew they were something. And then everybody's seeing the video. Go, you know what you got? And I didn't know, but now I do. So big money. So
Okay. We got a bunch of people in the chat, Harry. Let me say hello to a few people here. I wanted to say hey to Little Debbie is in the chat. Says, how's it going, Humpster? I wanted to say hey to the Mile High Hustlers are here. I wanted to say hey to LKL Graphics Heat is here. Little Debbie says hello, Jeff. Hey, Little Debbie, thanks for coming by and hanging out. We have Philly Picker is in the house. He says, what's up, Jeff, Harry, and everybody? We were just talking about you, Jennifer Hayes. I was asking Harry how many people lived up in his state. And he says, Jennifer Hayes lives up there. I said, oh, really? And then he stopped by. So thanks for coming by and hanging out with us today. I wanted to say hey to Noob Ernie is here in the chat. Mile High Hustlers, Joe Philly Picker, and I think that's about it. We have a question from Noob Ernie. He says, does he sell full time? So you're not a full time reseller. You resell part time, right?
Yes. I want to kick into the next phase of the new year. I want to because they changed the tax law, so I'm not going to stop selling on eBay. Joey, bada ping, how you doing?
Yeah.
He went full time, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought he was wrestling around with it. So he's got a good job. I have a real good job. And for me to leave my job, it's going to take a little bit more. But I have a plan for when I do leave, what I'm doing full time. And that would definitely be this. It's selling. But I just want to figure out the tax part of it. That's the only thing.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say hey to Joey Bada Bing 22. I think he said he was up in New York visiting family, so I hope you had a good trip. Jennifer Hayes says he's like a half hour away, if that.
Yeah.
And she says, hey, Jeff and Harry. Hey, Jennifer Hayes. So thank you guys for coming by. If you have questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. So how much longer would you say you have till you retire, till you kind of go full time? And like, what's your idea or thoughts about like transitioning? Are you looking forward to it? And what does your wife think about it? Is your wife like supportive of your reselling? And is she like, hey, Harry's going to go full time? I can't wait. Tell us the story, Harry.
She's scared. You know, if something happened, the bottom could drop out, then I got a really good job. So you got that security, and we got 2 kids in college and 1 on the way. So 2 go to college. 1 goes out, and when the other one goes out, the other one will be going in. So 6 years at most. What I would like is 62, which is 4 years for me. we'll see. I know I could do it because I'm in an area that I don't have any problem finding anything, and I haven't even tried auctions, which I look at them and say, if I wanted to do what, like, everybody knows Nurse Cat. She buys on auctions too, and she's picking this stuff up all over the state of Florida. I could do the same here. I've got 50 auctions right around me that I could go around and grab typewriters and the things that carry case sewing machines and glass and stuff that people don't really go after. And I'm getting 50 to $200 for a typewriter. Same with some sewing machines. So
Yeah. So Harry, kind of talk to us a little bit about what's like your niche. What are some of the items that you really are hunting and looking for when, let's say, you're at a yard sale or you're at a thrift store or you're at an auction place? What are some of the items that you've been looking for lately that have been doing really well for you?
Coleman lanterns, typewriters, carry sewing machines, anything old toys. Everybody knows they're hot. Halloween stuff on fire, anything vintage, anything old. I collect glass insulators, so when I get those, I usually don't sell them. But I go pottery, instruments, anything old, documents, ephemera, the postcards have taken off, pictures. It's just crazy what you can get for some of this stuff. If it says 1914 on it, I'm buying it. If the price is right. So, but yesterday I went into Jersey. I'll drop a video after this. So I don't want to say, but I picked up something real old and I drove over there to get it. So,
yeah, it's crazy how stuff that's like discontinued or things that are older is stuff that's selling. Like I've been selling a lot of VHS tapes, and I have some Blu-rays that have been sitting here, and I haven't been able to move them at all. But then some VHS tape that's like 25, 30 years old is flying out the door lately. So I wanted to say, hey, yeah, Joey Bada Bing says, yes, sir, full time now. I wanted to say, hey, to Mile High Hustlers is here in the chat. Little Debbie says, Harry's going to get a Corvette and play golf all day. That sounds like a good life there, Harry. You could do that. Just have some golf clubs hanging out the back of your Corvette, right?
No, I like picking. I golfed a while back, but I give that up. I just like to pick. I love treasure hunting. It's a big thing to me. That's what thrills me. It gets me up early in the morning. If I go to bed at 12, I'm up at 4 on Saturday. Yeah. It's big yard sales, not too much of the thrift stores. It's definitely yard sales, estate sales. And like I said, I ain't even touched auctions yet. I could only imagine what I could pick up there.
All right. I wanted to say hey to the Cap Guy and JT. He says it's the Jeff and Harry show, signed disco Cap Guy. Hey, man, if you guys didn't get to check out the show with Angie Resells and the Cap Guy was had breaking out some dance moves. So if you didn't get a chance, yeah, he was over there. He had some music playing and he was breaking out the dance moves. So if you guys get a chance, if you have some free time later tonight, go back and catch the replay. You don't want to miss it. Everybody in the chat was rolling. Everybody had a great time. So if you get a chance, go check that out. I wanted to say hey to Chicken Toad is in the chat. Jennifer Hayes and the Cap Guy and Little Debbie. So yeah, the Cap Guy says I dance for tips. So yeah, people gave him super chats. The music was playing and he got into his zone, man. He was getting into it. So Harry, man, tell me a little bit about how did you first get started into this reselling thing, man? How did you first get started into it, and how long have you been a reseller?
Oh God, early 2000s. Sold some Jim Beam bottles to start, and then some Johnny Lightnings, the old Johnny Lightnings, and went from there. It just toys. I was selling toys off and on for probably years, and then you stopped, but then all of a sudden I picked it up again, and really, because we get clean outs, me and a buddy down the street, so I get to go in before the clean out guy gets to go in there, and these places are pigsties, but they're full of treasure. I've had it where mice are running around on. There's plants growing inside the houses. The paint peeling is hanging. But there's so much stuff people leave behind. And so we started selling. I was selling on, and then I discovered Facebook Marketplace, and oh my God, you can sell a lot on that too.
So tell me a little bit about these.
Too.
So Harry, about these house cleanouts, is it like somebody that got evicted, or is it somebody that was moving? Like, tell me how you got into this house cleanout thing. How does that work? Is it they just call you and say, hey, it's a Saturday, we're cleaning out this house, you want to come by and pick some stuff? Or do you have to take everything out of there? Like, how does that work? I haven't done one before.
A buddy of mine sells roofing stuff, so he knows all the flippers that flip the houses, that rehab them. So he got to talking to him, and I took him to a relative's in Wilmington, our city in Delaware, to pick, and it gave him a bug. And he says, I know guys that do this, and they're I bet you they're throwing in dumpsters. Well, he got one, he got another. So I just started. He said, "You want to go?" Absolutely. We just started grabbing. He goes one way, I go the other, and we just fill it up. He's been on videos. I've got videos of us doing it, and we do well. He's found from oh my God, you name it, we found it. You don't find there's jewelry even left behind, and it's trash bags. Sometimes you got to open a trash bag, and there's class rings, a 14-karat gold ring in there. He always I give him the rings, and he gets all the Halloween stuff. Other than that, it's a free for all.
Well, it's kind of hard to lose money on merchandise when you get it for free and you got no money tied up in it. But sounds like you do pretty well. I mean, you fill up like your trunk and your back seat full of stuff. And like, what's some of the best stuff that you found in some of these cleanouts?
NASCAR, they were those midgets and sprint cars and dirt cars. Those went good. They were going for like $30 to $80 a piece. Oh God, just GI Joes, full cases of Star Wars. There's 2 of these under there. A lot of toys. This was one I bought later on, but I opened one on one of my thing, and it was just the same exact thing. It's sitting right here. There's one. Yeah. Here's the other one. This one's the full one from a peck. You should see the movies they leave behind: VCRs, stereos, turntables, speakers. It's just radios. I get old everything. You name it, it comes out of there. I found even a roll of buffalo nickels in one. Weight sets. Weight sets are all left in there. It's just all around me. The stuff we pull out. I found out about teacups. I didn't know crap about them until we had this. We call it the China House. I got thousands of dollars of teacups out there, high end stuff, Ansley and Royal Albert, and there's another all the other big names, and all they are is dirty. That's it. Yeah. Boxes of uniform, those nice uniform shirts, like the Jets or Giants, the shirts, not the uniforms, but the fans wear in the stadiums and stuff. The stuff we've left behind we've left stuff behind, can't fit it all in our vehicles. You only have so much time before the clean out guys get in there. Then it goes right in the dumpster. And we don't even take temperature.
Okay. I wanted to say hey to Donna's Diamonds is in the chat. Wanted to say hey to a couple of pickers is here. I wanted to say hey to Jennifer Hayes. Cap Guy is here. I wanted to say hey to BK from the Rockies is here. He says, like, share, subscribe, and comment. And we had a question from the Cap Guy. He says, Harry, what is your favorite rock group?
Beatles. The Beatles. I do top 10s and top 20s on my show, and he might be asking because of that. Now, the American group was the Eagles, but the overall is the Beatles. So.
All right, now, Harry, I wanted to ask you a question about Facebook Marketplace. When you post an item on Facebook Marketplace, do you do local pickup or do you ship it? Explain a little bit about how that works, because I haven't sold on Facebook Marketplace yet.
I go on Facebook Marketplace to sell big things. I pick up a lot of pedal cars lately, and I grab them, I get them cheap, and I'll flip them. So I either meet them in parking lots. I've sold typewriters. I've sold I've sold all kinds of things on there. Glass, stuff I didn't want to send at the time. I meet them either local in a parking lot, a Wawa or a Super G. That's a convenience store, supermarket, or my house if they're picking up big things. So right now I have like a pedal tractor on. I just put a blow mold on there, a ghost blow mold. It's Halloween. Halloween's hot. And I get tired of looking for a box. I think I can get the same on Marketplace as I can eBay. So I kind of weigh that out too. And
Yeah,
like that.
I've sold some stuff locally on OfferUp. It doesn't sell right away, but the idea is that if someone shows up and pays you cash from the spot, you don't have to handle all the shipping. You don't have to worry about all the eBay fees and all that stuff taken out of it. You don't have to do promoted listings. You just post the item, person shows up, hands you the cash, you hand them the item, and the transaction takes like 2 minutes out of your day. You know, it goes. I haven't had any issues with it, but I've just never tried Facebook Marketplace. So Harry, where do you store all your inventory? Do you have a big shed or a garage or a storage unit
Right
just
here.
in your house?
Basement. It's
Oh,
all
in the basement?
The other half and then the unfinished part and all under my feet. Well, it's under
Everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, there's some, but I have shelves of golf clubs out there, and I didn't pay a dime for these. They were free.
Yeah, right.
I looked on Facebook Marketplace and it said free golf clubs. I seen wood shafts. It was probably an hour in. And I said, I would like these. He says, well, you got to take them all. I said, I'll be there. So he kept texting because I said, I want to come on this date. And he said, you have to come. He had people from Canada wanted to come down because they could see those Scotties, and I didn't know. And so I went and picked them all up and brought them home and shot a video. And it was, I'm blown away still because I'll be selling those until who knows how long. I probably got 500 drivers, 200 putters. Like I said, and I'll just keep nickel and diming down until they're gone. I've even bought a pair since then and sold them, resold them. Left-handed, I don't know what they were, just like 2 weeks ago. I picked them up, bang, they're gone. You guys want to sell something easy? Golf clubs.
Yeah, I wanted to say hey to Dixon's Fixins is in the chat. He says, hey, Jeff and Harry. Hey, thanks for coming by and hanging out with us today. So Harry, do you have any tips or tricks or some advice? Because you've been selling, you said, since the early 2000s. So you have a long history of being a reseller. What would be like maybe three or four like ideas or thoughts off the top of your head that you can give us for like tips of advice to help other resellers out?
Yard sales. If you're in a good area, if you're right outside the cities, you know how it is. You got to get up early. You got to be the first one up the yard. Don't be afraid. Somebody tells you to get out. Okay, I'm going. I'm lucky. Either I'm lucky or I'm good, or I got a little bit of both. I mean, the last 2 years, if all the stuff I found, I mean, I'm paying pennies on the dollars for a lot of this stuff too. I'm not paying a lot. You get into auctions and stuff as a reseller, you're going to pay a lot more. You start going. A lot of people sell clothes and stuff. I don't, so I don't know that much about jewelry and clothes unless it says it's sterling silver. But that stuff's cheap too at yard sales. Good God, you can get a pair of jeans and probably flip it for $25 and pay $1 for it. So what's wrong with that? Got to get up early though, and you got to constantly be looking. If you're in a warm weather climate, you can go all year round, like the Florida people and Texas and some Southern California and stuff. But other than that, if you're up north and you're out in the woods somewhere, start wood carving and sell. I don't know what you do if you don't have the source. You have a good car and go to auctions and go to yard sales and estate sales. So.
Yeah, so yard sales have done really well for you. Estate sales, auctions, you've done these house cleanups as well.
Auctions, I mean, yard sales are my favorite. I mean, I'm in such a great area. If I go, I like old stuff, but now if I stay down here around me, it's all new construction. But these people are giving stuff. They don't store stuff for their kids. They get that new gaming system in. Well, guess where that old one is for $20 with 50 games out there, and you can get it for $40 or $20, a gym bag full with a gaming system, and it's yours. And you guys, a lot of people resell that stuff.
Yeah, if you go out hunting, you come across some deals. I was just talking to the Hoogs last week, and they came and found a big an N64 video game system with all the games and controllers and everything for like $15 at a yard sale with all the controllers, accessories, and everything with it for like $15. You just have to, like Harry said, you just got to be there before everybody else. You know, got to get up early, right?
Sega Dreamcast, I think, is a good one. That N64, the original Nintendo, it's all out there. Xboxes are everywhere, and there's 20, 30 games. A lot of times I don't even look at them because I want other things. I spent all my money. What was it, last week or the week before? I've never done that. I mean, and I didn't do the $200 rule either. So that's my own fault. I re-upped. But that's when something's going good, make sure you have $200 in cash. You spend that much, you probably got easily you have triple what you just paid. I know you do. So
yeah. So Harry, what type of rate of return are you looking at on some of these items that you buy to flip and resell? Like, let's say, like for example, if you spent $200 at yard sales, how much do you think you'd be able to turn that into?
1,000. I hope
Easy,
so.
huh?
For 200, yeah. I bet you I'd pick $200 to $400 up every weekend of stuff, and I'm spending $30 and $40. But a lot of it's just the thrill of it. I don't. I know I could stay out a lot longer or do this or that. I just piddle around right now, and I'm building. I've got the backlog monster. I guess you guys call them the depth piles. I got a ton of stuff stock. Hot Wheels, just boxes of them in there, unopened Hot Wheels and Johnny Lightnings and Matchbox and G.I. Joes, a lot of toys. I'm not setting on, got Star Wars stuff. This is all original stuff. A lot of G.I. Joe 3 3/4. They're hot, or 2 3/4, whatever size those little guys are. Starting to look at vinyl again. If that's in good shape, grab it. Old blues records, Beatles, Stones, Zeppelin, all that stuff sells, especially if it's in good shape.
You know, there's a lot of people here that's like against. They're like totally against having death piles, but I don't see nothing wrong with it, man. I mean, I would like to have inventory on hand that I can list. If I have downtime or something and it's, you know, pouring down rain or, you know, there's something going on outside and I don't have to go out hunting for inventory and I have stuff at the house that I can be listing, I actually prefer that. And it sounds like you seem to be on the same page with that as well, as far as having inventory on hand that you could just sit at the house and list if you wanted to, right?
Absolutely. Oh, I could have 1,000 listings by next week, just in glass alone. I got a ton of it. If I was a full-time reseller, I'd want 6 months of backlog or inventory, whatever you want to call it. I'd have shelves just lined with stuff, and I just would always be out looking, and I'd be going to auctions all the time, just replenishing, looking for the deal.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, it's like once you have this, let's say you have this item and you sold this item for $20, it's like, okay, great, you sold that item, but now that $20 item that you had, you don't have it anymore. You sold it. So now you have to go out and get more merchandise to kind of restock the shelf. So you have more merchandise to list, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely keep. If I was full time, you want the space, number one. If you're in a small space, I guess you're hurting for room, and I guess you better go rent a unit. Some guys do rent units. I have this huge basement. After the next kid goes to college, this is all mine. I'd rather have a building, but this basement's huge. I could have one hell of a store down here, or storage, or whatever the hell you want to call it, but it's huge.
Yeah. Cool. Let me say hello to a few people in the chat. We have Vintage Vagabond Vince is here. I wanted to say hey to Joey Bada Bing. He says, no death pile, make that money. I wanted to say hey to Donna and Diamonds is here. Well, what I'm talking about is I'll order 500 or 1,000 items at one time and have it shipped to my house. And, you know, there's no way I can't list 1,000 items in a day. You know, I don't see nothing wrong with that. The Selling Sniper is here. The ATL Flipper is here. What's up, ATL Flipper? He says, I'm driving and listening. Just wanted to say, hey, thanks for coming by and hanging out. The Selling Sniper says, I sub to you, Harry. Yeah, I have Harry's links. His YouTube and Instagram is in the description. So if you want to go by and check his channel out, you can do that. The link is in there. Vintage Vagabond Vin says, hey, Jeff and Harry and everybody. Back row bitter Chuck is here. He says, bang, bang, so, and I wanted to say, hey, to the Selling Sniper and Dixon's Pixon. So if you guys have questions for our guests, go ahead and drop it in the chat. So Harry, I have a question for you. Have you considered maybe like setting up a booth, like, at like one of those vendors places and having like a little booth at like an antique mall or something? Because you sell a lot of antique type of merchandise.
I thought about it, and then I thought about I got to pay them $120. That's 2 items, 3 items that I need to sell before I even make a profit. So I've shunned it. I would like to, just for to hang out and to meet the other people, but then I said I've got plenty of room down here. This is antique booths in my area are tiny. They're like closets, and they want $125. No, what am I going to put there? A couple reefs and I would at least have to have this size room, like what is this? Probably 12 by 12. I'd want something like that size before I'd even consider it. But I've thought of it, and it just goes by quick. It's too much, I think.
Yeah, well, I've had a booth in the past, and my issue was like, and on the surface it sounds good because the booth was open 7 days a week, and they have foot traffic there, and they already have air conditioning, water, electric. They already have employees there on staff, and so I didn't have to worry about my merchandise getting broken or stolen or anything. My issue is that the stuff that I made in sales, I made just enough money in sales every month to cover the rent for the building. So by the time I spent my time and gas driving there, because when you go there, you have to have these little price tags that you put on your merchandise. You have to go there and straighten up your booth. You have to go there and reprice items. And I mean, even if you just drove there once or twice a week, you have to think about your time and gas driving there and back. And if you're not making a significant profit, I would say at least $400 or $500 a month. Is it worth your time and gas driving there and back if the items that you're selling is just going to pay your booth rental? So it may work different for different people in different areas, but that's just my experience that I've had with it in the past. Is I didn't have enough sales and enough foot traffic to cover my monthly expenses.
Yep, I agree. So that's why I just ours is probably open 3 days a week. So come on now, you're closed half the week. It's I know a guy that his wife has a booth over there, and she's related to the person that owns the place. So other than that, I've been over there. It's more like a craft place than an antique place. So I'm just in the way.
So Harry, I wanted to talk a little bit about. We talked a little bit earlier about your plans for going full time in the future. So what is your what are you going to be doing to kind of ramp up for that, for getting ready to go full time in the future? Like, what is your thoughts or plans? Are you going to be sourcing more? Or what is it like? How do you plan on transitioning from going part time to being a full time reseller?
If I do, it'll be hit auctions. You just add auctions. That's all. Drive more. More of the because you'd have time. If you're looking at estate sales, they're starting on Thursdays a lot of time. So you hit the estate sales Thursdays and Fridays. You got your yard sales Saturday. You got your flea markets on Sunday, and you got auctions all day, all week. So you're going to be driving a lot, but you're going to pick up a lot of stuff. So it's according to how much you want to hold on to after you pick it all up. Better have a van, and I have one. So there you go. But that wouldn't be a problem. Like I said, the flea markets around here within 2 hours. There's I don't even know how many. I'd say 30, 40 of them within 2 hours of me. Lancaster's not far. I got New Jersey's right here. I source from 4 states too. I got Jersey, Maryland's 10 minutes away, Pennsylvania's a half hour away, and Delaware. So there's my 4 states to play around in. I got the Philadelphia, Baltimore area. So tons of stuff. Old towns, old stuff.
Yeah. I wanted to say hey to Jennifer Hayes is in the chat. Salas HQ is here. Says eBay Addict Salute. Hey, thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us today. Jennifer Hayes is here. Pame is here in the chat. LKL Graphics Keith is here. The Selling Sniper, Joey Bada Bing, and Vagabond Vins. If you guys have questions for our guests, dropped in the chat. Harry, I wanted to talk to you real quick about some of your like negotiation tactics, right? So if you're at a yard sale, you're at a flea market, you're at an estate sale, tell us some of your like inside baseball here. What's some of your like negotiation tactics to kind of help you get a better deal? And what is some of the things that you do? Because like one of the things that I try to do is just like, let's say I have one item, instead of me coming up to them and say, hey, I want to buy this one item, I try to get a big pile of stuff. So I'll have a big, I'll get 10 or 15 items and come up with a big pile. It's easier to negotiate if you have a big pile of merchandise instead of just one item. But what's some of your like tactics and strategies? Because I know you get a lot of stuff for free doing house cleanouts, but like when you're negotiating and you're at a yard sale, what are some of the tactics that you use to help you get a better deal?
I don't bundle. I haven't, and I can't. I got to start putting a GoPro on because you'll never see. I use my phone, and I'm kind of get a little scared, so because I had people yell at me a couple times ago, like,
they yell at you.
Well, you don't want that. She says, I said, well, I have a YouTube channel. Well, you're not taping me. I said, I'll race it. But that's, I mean, she was gonna attack me. I got a little scared there. So no,
wow.
I just go up and say, if I see typewriters and stuff, I beat around, and it's just, well, that's sticking and this, that, and a lot of them they can't sell anyway. So I'll just, if it says 20, go 10. I half it and go from there. If it's something real good, I just pay them. You're going to make great money. But like Legos, I never bought Legos until a couple weeks ago. There's 2 Star Wars, and you see Star Wars, and Legos are big bucks. So I just said, how much do you want for these? And they were like, they was wanting like 20 or something. I just offered them 30 for the 2 boxes, and I went out the yard with it. Matter of fact, I offered them, they wanted 40. I offered them 20. They said 30, and I took them. And that one was this great big one that's unopened. It's on, the other one already sold. It was a TIE fighter that I guess Darth Vader flies around in, but they're Legos. I mean, like I do, I have these. If it's a ridiculous price, I don't even bother because they're not going to come down. Like any of this stuff, like a dummy, I would say, like that guy right there. I would offer $10 for him, and that's usually where they might have 20 on him or 15. And I try to just halves and don't go down to most glass you pick up. You're going to pay $1 or $2, and some of that stuff's $30-$40. So that's just how I pick it up. That's how I've always done it. Beer cans, any of the stuff I grab. So
yeah. Let me say hello real quick to Yard Sales and Dreams, just stopped by in the chat. And she says, I just got here from the grocery store. What did I miss about Harry? Well, you can go and catch the replay, or you can go by Harry's channel. I want to talk a little bit about your YouTube channel, Harry. What got you inspired to start your own YouTube channel, and what kind of content do you make on your channel?
Talk about junk, and then it always gets into the next realm. It's more just to have fun, and we get silly, and it's adult humor. It's light adult. It's not vulgar or anything. It's just being myself and being silly, have a couple beers and sit back and just chat with people. That's what it's always been. It started Instagram rating food. Some of the kids laughed, some of my kids' friends. So I just said, you know what? I'll do Instagram. So I did that a couple of years, rating food. And I said, I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to do it. I started watching some of these guys and commenting. And boom, I started doing lives. Made some videos before of yard sales and the clean outs. And then I just did a live one time and said, this is easy. You're the only guy I see. So it's like me and you sitting here talking. When I'm by myself, I'm just talking to the TV. I can't see people. I don't know what they're doing. They might be throwing stuff at this.
Right. Yeah. Well, Harry, you seem to be really laid back personality. So you're not camera shy. So we got that part good. But you do a lot of sourcing videos on your channel as well. Do you show people like, hey, this is the stuff that I picked up?
Oh yeah. Every weekend after the yard sale, I do a video. I done a couple of what solds. I'm not good at that yet. I can't get that. I suck at computer skills. I'm bad. I can do it all from my phone, and it doesn't get. If you see anything fancy happening, my son's edited that video. But I need to know when I can pop that little thing to sit still up there. I sold Joe Blow hat for $500, and I paid $1, and then I can go there just to throw something out there. I don't know, but
Yeah, I'm with you.
In the future,
I shoot everything on my phone as well, and I don't have a problem doing live. But when you're out like sourcing, it's hard for me to like do that. Try to shoot a video with one hand, and then you're like trying to like look up sold comps with the other hand. It's like you're trying to hold that straight, and then you're going by and you're out looking for stuff to resell, but then you're trying to use your other hand to like scan barcodes and look up sold comps. So there's got to be a little bit of a balance there,
I'm going GoPro. There's no doubt about it. The only thing is, me with one of them packs on, they're gonna look at this old guy coming up here with the pack on. I mean, it's so. All the young people went to school with it, but we carried our books when I went to school. So they're going to see me with a backpack. They're going to say, "What's up? What's up with this guy? Look at him coming down the street." So I got to figure where to put that goddamn GoPro, and I'm not strapping it on a hat or anything. But I want one because if people can hear me talking, I can make people laugh in their driveways, and that works. Humor works, and it does. It makes people settle down and stuff, and they'll say, he's cool. He can have it for something or something. And if that saves me $1, so bad. So try to be fair, and I don't. I'm there to buy to resell. If you're buying 10 things, they got to know something's up. You're not going to put all that, especially if you're a dude and you're buying unopened women's underwear. You either think you're kooky, you're wearing them, or you're reselling, one or the other. Myself, I'd probably sell them. So
yeah. Well, a lot of these people, Harry, they're just trying to free up space and make a few extra dollars. Like they're just trying to move the inventory. So a lot of the times they don't even ask any questions,
Yeah,
so
you're right.
Yeah, let me say hello here to a few people in the chat. Jennifer Hayes is here. I wanted to say hey to Gravity Goods. Cameron is here. He says, "Hey Harry, what's up, Jeff?" I wanted to say hey to Little Debbie. Says they want to give Gramps a good deal. I wanted to say hey to Diary of a Flipper is here. Wanted to say hey to Yard Sales and Dreams. Says wear a black shirt with a chest mount. Yeah, I'm a big guy. I just can't see me walking around with some big chest mount on my chest, It's like because everywhere right now it's like people are still freaking out about having to wear a mask and all this stuff, and they're strict, man, and they will throw you out of some of these places. Yard Sales and Dreams says going into a hairy life feels like going into Cheers. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And I wanted to say hey to Sal is in the chat, says Harry is the man. And Jennifer Hayes says, Harry, have you been to Mitchell's Flea Market or Red Lion?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that. I've been to I know where Red Lion is. Where's it at? Red Lion is off of 71, 72. I have not been there. So
I don't know. You'll have to I guess you'll have to send you a message on Instagram or something.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
All right. So, Harry, what are some of the big-time deals that you've come across lately? Like, what's been some of your biggest flips that you've made lately?
Golf clubs.
Yeah.
I bought a collection of insulators for myself, but that was a really great buy. Toys. We had a big toy clean-out probably in the spring. There's a video, too, of that. We got a lot of Power Rangers and Transformers and a lot of action hero guys, and I got some glass and stuff like that. A couple clean, but the golf club thing's still blowing me away because I'm going to make a lot of money off of those. Like I said, I'm selling them all the time, just piddling around. If I put 50 listings out there, I'd probably be selling golf clubs every day right now, singles and twosies and threesies. Because I got a bunch of these great big Berthas and these monster Tiger. I guess the shafts are graphite and stuff. They're going for 15 to 30, 40 bucks a piece. So, and I got tons of them. So that's easily the biggest pick I had. I've had so many, I had to look back at them this year of what I've gotten.
So, Harry, I got a question for you. Who is some of your favorite YouTubers that you like to watch when you have free time? Because all the time, because I run into Harry all the time in live stream chats, or I'll run into him and see him in the comments. But I want to ask you, Harry, like who's your top 3 or 4 YouTubers of resellers of people that you like to watch when you have downtime or free time?
When I'm up, if I can watch them. Oh God, I don't want to. You mean like their live shows or just watch?
Just in general, just in general.
Any of the, most of them are in here. I like them all. I try to watch them all, but people that pick up stuff like me, Danielle, Yard Sales and Dreams, she picks up stuff like I do. She's good to watch. God, there's Brick House Steve, a New York guy that picks up old stuff. There's some bottle diggers I watch. I watch so many people that I just can't pick those single guys. Flipping Goodies down in Florida, Mike, Nurse Cat. She's always picking up great stuff. There's so many. You just can't pick 1 or 2. Even Cameron, he's picking up cool stuff. They get shirts and all that. There's Jennifer. What the heck's her name? Jen, not Jennifer, but.
Talking about Jim's Closet Gyms?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. She's probably going to be mad. Well, how could you forget my name? She's wild. She's got the green hair, blue hair sometimes. She's live shows, Tommy Menard, Tracy, and there's a bunch, Victoria in the morning. There's just too many.
Yeah.
I like
Harry. Harry, have you been to any Goodwill bins lately? Have you been to any of the Goodwill bins? Do you guys have any nearby?
We got Goodwills, but they kind of like they're if you go in there, there's 15 resellers sitting in there. You know what they're doing. They're right in my area. I tell them to get out, but they don't listen, so I stopped going in.
Oh, all right.
They're no big deal. We got after the yard sales, everybody runs their stuff up to the Goodwills. The Bens are like those big places. I've never been in one of those. I get so much stuff. I really don't have to hit Goodwills.
All right. So, do you have any other like what were some other places that you go sourcing at that you haven't told us about yet? We talked about yard sales. We talked about estate clean outs. Like, was there any place else that you really do well as far as finding merchandise lately?
Just for me, it's Craigslist, and when there's not a yard sale, Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. I haven't tried any of the OfferUps or any of those, but those I should. Max Sold, I think, is another one, but that's more like an auction. But you got to be quick now. Everybody's on their phones and they're looking. People are looking for the same stuff as me, where it used to sit for a few hours. Now, if I see a Coleman lantern, you better get it in 20 minutes or it's gone. If it's a red one or a good one that I look for.
Yeah.
I bought from that. I went 2 hours away, and a dude had a storage unit just full of Coleman lanterns. I came home with a carload that day. That was a big pick, but that's last year.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of online arbitrage lately. I mean, I still try to go and do some retail arbitrage, but I've been doing a lot of online arbitrage where I'll look on eBay and see if I can find a big bulk lot, like I said, of 100, 500, 1,000 items at a time. Because when you buy stuff in bulk, you're getting stuff for 40, 50 cents a piece. So let's say if I have 1,000 items show up at my door and I paid 40 cents a piece for them, and I could turn around and sell them for $10 to $15, $20 a piece, and you've got penny on the dollar tied up in the merchandise, you can essentially turn, let's say, $400 into $8,000-$10,000 worth of merchandise, and it shows up right at your door. So I've been doing a lot more of that lately if I can find it, and I've been doing a lot more high bid, because on high bid where I'm at in Tampa, the only people that really bid on the high bid auctions are people that live locally in Tampa. So I'm not competing with people in South Carolina or somebody in Georgia. It's just people here locally. And like last week, I bid on this big auction of Xbox One video games. They were all still brand new, sealed in the box. So, and I ended up getting this auction and winning a whole box of video games. So if you're just out there and you're looking, you can look in person, but sometimes you'll strike out. But just look online and you'll come across some deals. We had a question here in the chat. Little Debbie says, is there going to be a top 10 this weekend? If so, what will it be?
It'll be a rapid fire. I've got a couple in my mind, but they will definitely be adult. Maybe Saturday night. Tomorrow night, I'm on call tomorrow night, so I will not be doing a live unless I do it like at midnight.
Yard Sells a Dream says, Harry, have you been ripped off by anyone on Craigslist?
No, never. I've never. Yes, what was it? Wednesday or Tuesday? It was Tuesday. I thought I had a really nice Sony stereo system, but because it looks good sometimes the pictures. I'm glad I didn't drive far. I just drove into the next town. Oh, it was the pits. It was horrible looking, and how they thought they were even going to get $20 for it, let alone what I wanted to pay. But no, once in a blue moon, you get what you show up at a place and you just say, "This, I don't want it." But I've never been ripped off.
Yeah. Yard Sells a Dream says, did you ever see that woman run Jen off alive with her husband? I was embarrassed for her. Lady was nuts. So, no. I didn't see that one. Did you, Harry?
No, me neither. I want to say
it. Yeah, I have to go back and check it out. So Harry, man, tell everybody where they can go by and check you out at on YouTube and Instagram, so they can go by and follow you. Let them know where they can follow you at.
It's Harry Humstone. I'm the only one, so there it is, right there. You look that up. Yeah. You're going to get Harry Potter, Harry Belafonte. You're going to get all, and then once you hit Hum, then I'm the only one after that. I got my own little thing in the corner there. Jam Dad on the Instagram. It's you'll see. I just do little silly skits and show pictures of antiques. So
all right, yeah, I have all of his links down below if you want to go by and check out Harry. Harry, I had a good time with you coming on and hanging out with me today. Hopefully you'll come back on again sometime.
Absolutely.
Tell everybody, yeah, do you have any final thoughts, any words of wisdom that you can leave our audience with today?
Get up early, man. All the deals are early. Get out of bed. You want to get serious. You want good stuff. You got to get up early and check out as it gets Sundays. You want big flea markets. You got to get there early. Make sure they're not giving all the dealers the time before you so they get all the good stuff. But there's always something out there. Constantly look. Ask people. That's what I do too. I all the time ask people. You got old stuff. If you know somebody throwing something out, get a hold of me. And it works. It actually works. You're going to end up picking up some cool stuff. So that's how.
All right. All right, awesome, guys. Yeah, go by and follow Harry. All the links are going to be down below in the description below. Till then, if you guys want to come by and hang out tomorrow on Friday, I have a new guest for you guys. It's Sonny from Las Vegas Thrifts. He'll be here tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time. So if you guys want to come by and hang out with our guest tomorrow, I'll see you then. Till then, you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Have a good day.